What's up, Jets fans? Welcome to our latest edition of the Q&A sessions we've been doing with Jets head coach Lukas Smital. We put the shout out on Facebook for you to respond with your questions, and you did so thank you for those that wrote in. And without further ado, we go straight in to the first question. Okay, so over to our first question then, and kind of ties in with why we're in the middle of the woods. As you can probably see, Smits is keeping a close eye on his young hockey players. Smits, how is the off-season going for your guys in your camp and your academy? And tell us a bit about what's happening.
Yeah, it's been going really well actually. We were using a Zoom calls throughout the lockdown, pretty much 4 times a week, and the minute we could allow to work as a group, we added another day. So we're pretty much training every day apart from Sunday. And we got a lot of guys being involved in this, and in the Zoom calls we got almost the whole club getting involved. So it was really encouraging for me, especially to see. It was a lot of fun throughout the summer. So I'm really happy that guys kept active, and we could spend some time together as well.
So we're going to go straight in with the first question, sent in by one of our Facebook followers. With a date for hockey to resume being uncertain, what impact do you think this delay will have on junior development, and what should young players do to keep improving their hockey skills if they don't have facilities available?
Well, this question obviously would be easier to answer in March or April. Obviously, we were close to get back on the ice, so I can touch on what they could have done throughout the line. Obviously, you're never gonna substitute for ice, but again, our philosophies was always pay a lot of attention to off-season training. So even in the summer times, the hockey in terms of being on the ice as often isn't that important, as long as you keep your fitness levels up and you go into that load phase where you want to get stronger, faster, more agile, more explosive. That's all off season training. That's what gives you these benefits. Ice, unfortunately, you can't train this type of exercises on the ice. But regarding skills, it's a hard one, but there's been a lot of guys who were doing their own stuff in the gardens. Some guys got the shooting range set up in the garden. They got stick handling pads and that kind of stuff. They can always work on. But as I said, when you go through the stage like that, it's always hard. But definitely not end of the world. It's not like they're gonna lose everything they've learned in 6 months. It may take slightly longer to get back into it, but it's definitely they're gonna get back where they were before the lockdown, for sure.
Okay, next question. Do you ever get scouts who are interested in players? And I think that means Jets players obviously being picked up by other people.
Well, they're definitely not being picked up by NHL scouts, if that's what the person meant by scouts. Obviously, players being scouted from different clubs, different coaches. That type of scouting, I suppose, yeah, it is there. And again, it's our philosophy. It's my job really to try to get them ready to play at higher level. But are they seen by professional scouts? As much as I would love to, no, we're not at that stage. Hopefully we will be one day. So, no. And
is there an element of frustration when players or other teams are trying to take your players, or?
No, it depends how it's done. It all depends how it's done. You know, again, I think I'm knowledgeable enough or know enough about players' development when they're ready to go up. When they start making these moves. So as long as it's done right way, again, last year we had a great relationship with Basingstoke. It was done right way. Both parties were happy. Players benefited massively. Obviously, I had a couple players there, and they became full-time. So if it's done the right way, I think it's a big part of their development. That's our philosophy. That's my aim, to help players. If they go too early, or they think at the end of the day it's up to certain players, but unfortunately some of the young players do not know whether they're ready or not. It's especially if someone tells them they are, and it can affect their overall potential reach.
Okay, so next one is a bit more light-hearted. Can you tell us a funny story from your playing days? Probably quite a few, I should think.
Yeah, well, the one I can say, I think it is funny to some extent. So when I was younger, obviously I played in Johnstown for Johnstown Chiefs. For those who've seen the movie Slapshot, it's the ring where it was filmed, so that arena or rink. And we had this guy. He was our equipment manager. He's currently with Penguins. His name's Dana Heinze. So he used to work with us, and he was a lot of fun to work with. So we were kind of doing pranks on each other, and it came to the stage where I think I went a little too far, and I would put shaving cream on his brand new, I think it was Toyota 4Runner back then, and he was really proud that he could buy it, and I put shaving cream on top of his window. So he was obviously wanted to get me back. So so we had a really important game coming up that weekend, and we had a final practice where that practice meant to be focusing on power plays, penalty kills mostly. So you wanted to be ready, you wanted to be fresh, you wanted to be in your top performance, to actually try everything full speed. So I turned up at the rink and couldn't find my skates. At that time, for those who remember, it was them white Nikes. Yeah, yes, I did get abused for that. Yeah, but that's what I was wearing. He put it in the tub with water and put it in the freezer. So I asked him if it was his job, to look after our equipment. So I said, Dana, where's my skates? He's like, they're in the room over there. Just go get them, no problem. So I went there, and they were in the just solid frozen, and we had about 45 minutes to get on the ice. So at the time I didn't have a second pair of skates, so I needed to find a way. So grab the hammer and get the ice. Obviously it's wet inside, so I had to use the heat gun just to defrost it and everything else, and still wet. And so luckily I get it done. And as I was doing, as I was putting him on and just about to walk on the ice, he would turn around and says, "Oh, by the way, Smith, your brand new skates just arrived. You could use those." But didn't have a time to put them on. So I find it funny. It's kind of stuff I can say on the camera. It's at the time it was quite funny, but it was good season because first of all, he's a really good guy, and he's unbelievable equipment manager. Hence why he's in the NHL now, and we were doing a lot of pranks on each other. So but I found it at the time funny. It never happened to me before, but then obviously as the career went on, you see these pranks more often. But for the first time, I found it really funny. If it's funny to you, I'm glad to share that.
Okay, last question. How is player recruitment going for the Jets for next season?
I think it's doing well. Again, our obviously it's not a secret. We operate on zero budget, so it's limited in those terms. But I think we got a good youth program. We got a lot of young players again coming up, and there's got to be some new faces. Maybe not early in the season, but potentially during the season. Try to work them in with seniors. Again, it all depends when we start even. But they definitely gonna be training and being in the program. But I think there obviously there's got to be a few changes. You know, we have to keep changing it up, refreshing it, and slowly mold the team to your needs, the club's philosophies. But I think it was going okay because obviously we were in a tough position. No one knew what's going to happen. There was a stage where it was quite quiet. Nothing was happening. No one knew what's going to happen. But I think it's positive. I think we're going to have yet again exciting team to watch. I'm not saying we're going to be winning everything or win the league, and I'm saying that because I remember saying that when we won the league, so I'll say it again. Obviously, there's a lot of good teams we're going to be facing next season. So as long as we're going to be doing all things right, I personally believe we got right players to play for us. So I'm quite happy with what we have at this stage. There's still going to be some additions, obviously, but at this stage, I think I'm pretty happy with what we have.
Perfect. Smik, thank you for your time.
No problem.
Pleasure as always, and we'll try and catch up with you in a few weeks and see where we're at.
No problem.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, thank you.